I've never been a subscriber to the idea that there is such a thing as work-life balance. I much prefer to choose the term work-life choices or even life choices. The idea of balance presumes exactly that there'll be some kind of balance, and it very rarely is, at least in my experience. At different stages of our lives, we make different choices. Someone who is looking after 3 children, for instance, may make different choices to someone who is single and has no childcare responsibilities. So as we pass through the chapters of our lives, what we value changes. Now, what is important is that you make deliberate choices about how you want to lead your life as you pass through these different stages. The challenge is that over the years, we find ourselves falling into our patterns of our life based on habits, and we forget we actually have those choices. We wake up each day and we just follow familiar patterns. Well, maybe not so much at the moment. It's only when I stop and I ask people, what other choices do you actually have? They begin to realize, have they really been exercising those choices? Listen, the activities that we do every week become less meaningful, and therefore life isn't as fulfilling. One very useful exercise that brings into focus how you're actually spending your time, how you'd like to spend your time, is the 100-hour week exercise. Now, I'd like to challenge you to do this. Now, assuming you're awake and involved for 100 hours a week, during the week, we're involved in different activities under different roles. Now, for the sake of simplicity, let's use 5 different roles. Number 1, family and friends. 2, work activities and roles. 3 could be personal activities such as exercise, personal time, planning, thinking, personal growth, that sort of thing. 4, couple activities. These would include spending time with your significant other or best friend, recreation, leisure activities, watching TV, traveling, that sort of thing. And finally, 5, social and community. These might include social causes, volunteer activities, work in the community, maybe some working with a sports team, for example. Now, if these descriptions don't quite fit, then change them to make them more meaningful for you. But start by using these 5 activities and roles and begin to list the very specific activities that you do each week under each of these specific roles. What do you actually do? Now, the way you spend your time tends to shape your behavior and your outlook. They create a frame of mind from feeling that life is being done to you on one end of the scale to feeling blissfully happy on the other. So using these 5 areas of activities, conduct an inventory of how much time you're actually spending in each area. Now, this is best illustrated by using a simple pie chart. The 100 hours expressed as a percentage gives you a really clear graphical representation of where you're actually spending your time from one role to the other. Now, the trick is to be brutally honest with yourself, and my recommendation is that you test your own thinking with that of your closest friend or partner, particularly when it comes to work. We sometimes kid ourselves for not working that hard, and we actually are. Then what you want to do is create a further pie chart of how you would like to spend your time, so you can kind of compare the two. It's simple and easy, and personally, I've found this exercise to be very enlightening. I've done this exercise several times, and each time I find myself focusing on making adjustments to live a life more deliberate based on what is important rather than being an autopilot. So my challenge for you is, how will you choose to use your 100 hours every week in 2021? Let's make sure you're making very deliberate choices rather than just out of habit. My personal thanks to you for watching these videos. My sincere hope is that you can find good use in the messages to impact your life in a positive and powerful way. And my very, very best wishes to you for the happiest Christmas you can possibly have this year with all the restrictions that we have around us. Spend those valuable hours and time connecting with your family and friends. And my sincerest and very, very best wishes for a happy and prosperous 2021.